Welcome to Right on the Mark with your host, Mark Young. Today I have a great host, my father, Mike. He's got a lot of good stories to tell back in the day. I want to say in the 50s. Dad, welcome. Say hi.
Hi, folks.
Great. First I'd like to ask you, the year you graduated Monessen High School, what year was that?
1953.
1953. So you and the guys thought about going to college or no? Did you just want to go
No.
play ball?
Just to play Major League Baseball. Try out.
So you went down south or did you stay around
What
the area?
happened was that I got an offer for a scholarship down the University of Georgia. So that's down in Athens, Georgia.
Right.
Went down there, stayed a week. I didn't care too much for it. Came back home. Same day I came home, my mother told me I had a call from University of Tennessee down Knoxville.
Yeah.
So I called this coach. His name was Buzz O'Neill, and he said that he had a plane ticket for me to take the Nighthawk to Knoxville. Somebody would pick me up, take me to the hotel, and the next day they would pick me up and take me to the
Just
university.
yourself or is there other guys with you?
Just myself.
Okay.
Young kid of 17.
Oh, boy.
So then when I got there, I called my parents home to let them know I was there, and they just got in from the airport. Well, at that time, in the 50s, it took about an hour and a half to get to the airport with all these old roads.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went down there, stayed there, played ball for 3 months, came home, had a buddy down there, Nick Mahako Sr. We came home, and we were home for a year, and I went to work in the mill for a year. And I didn't go back to college because I wanted to play baseball. I got a call the following year, 1955, with Jim Russell, scout for the Brooklyn Dodgers, which is now the Los Angeles Dodgers. So I signed a contract, me and my buddy Bill Mitnick, signed it, Class D, Shawnee, Oklahoma. Went down to Vero Beach, Florida, where they had their training camp.
Well, what was this summer or winter?
This was in the springtime.
Oh, okay.
In the springtime. And when we got there, we had 6 weeks of training. After that, we flew, which the Dodgers had their own plane at that time. They had a plane at their own time. And we flew up from Vero Beach to Meridian, Mississippi, stopped there. Then we continued to Shawnee, Oklahoma. We got there, and they had a nice parade for us. They had us all set up where we were going to live at. So then we started playing ball. Shawnee was in a senior state league. This was in 1956. And we played the opening game, a night game, with Seminole Indians. And we played the night, and I didn't start, but I pinch hit it. And what I did when they called me to pinch hit, I hit a ground ball over second base. It looked like a base hit, but the shortstop got the ball, kicked the bag, threw it to first, double play. And I got so mad.
Yeah, I believe that. They kicked the dirt, throw your hat down.
I had a base hit. But anyway, we played and everything. And I was away for like 8 weeks, something like that. We went all over. We went to Lofton and Ponca City, where the league was, and as far as down in Paris, Texas, we played and everything. So then I happened to be on the last totem pole, so to speak, where players come down from other classifications and they bump you. And I happened to get bumped. At the time that I got released, I was leading RBI man on a team with 22 RBIs. And also, I had the most extra base hits at the time, doubles, triples, and had a home run. On Mother's Day of one of the games that we played in Muskogee, I had a home run, and I dedicated it for my mother. And I still got the ball, and I gave it to her. And to this day, I have it at home.
Is there any writing on it, or
Yes,
just?
there's writing on it.
Yeah.
It has a date when I hit it and everything. It's in the big room.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So then I came home and played ball, Mon Valley League. played for the CIO, which we had a good team and everything like that. And my future wife used to pay 50 cents for the baseballs
Yeah.
while I was hitting home run and everything. So then we went away to Wichita, Kansas. First of all, we went up to Midland, played in this baseball tournament. The winner there was going to Wichita, Kansas. Well, I had a good series up there. We came in third place, and I was batting, I think, 666, and we lost to Aliquippa, who eventually they lost to Midland. Midland was the champ. So we came back home, and one night, afternoon or night, about the bartender Eddie said, "Mike, you got a phone call." So I answered it. Here it was this manager for the Midland team, and he wanted me to go up there and play ball for Midland to go to Wichita, Kansas, where they have a team for each state plays ball. And I said, okay. And I said, how about my buddy, Bob Mastrossi? He said, yeah, we want him too. I said, how about my other buddy, Bill Minnick? He said, no, we'd like that, but we have other pitchers coming in.
Yeah.
So then me and Bob, we went up to Midland, and then from Midland, we drove all the way to Wichita, Kansas. We got there and we stayed in this hotel, real nice and everything, and double elimination. First game we played was a night game, we lost. Then the other game, we won 2 in a row. And then the third game that we won, we beat the defending champions. And I think the score was like 16-11. It was a slugfest. And it was one of them things that I had a good game. I had 5 for 6. I had a home run, a double, and 3 singles, and we won. The team that we won was the Boeing Bombers from Wichita, and they were defending national champions. Now, the winner of this tournament goes to Japan for global play. Next few games, we won a few, and we lost, double elimination. We ended up 4-2 record, which isn't bad. We played against some of the toughest teams with ex-major leaguers. Came home, went to work at the mill, got a call, and I signed with Cincinnati Reds for
So
1957.
So Cincinnati Reds, where did you get the call at? Did the call come to
Well,
home and then afterward?
Well, what it was, I forgot that while I was in Wichita, the scout called me up and took me out for dinner, and he proposed this and that. He said, Mike, he says, I'll give you a double A contract with Nashville. Salary at that time, $500. I said, well, I'd like to have more bonus backing me up. He says, you was away with Shawnee, Oklahoma the previous year. If you wasn't away, I would give you $35,000 right now. To me, to myself thinking, I don't know if he was joshing me or what. But anyway, I still insisted. He says, I'll give you a $500 bonus. With $500 is a double A national contract. I says, okay. So then, went down to spring training, and it was, forget the name of the town. But I know we stayed at a hotel called the Tangerine Hotel, Crestview. Yeah. Tangerine Hotel. We were down there, and then they shipped me from there to Douglas with the A team. And they wanted to cut my salary and everything because they didn't want to pay the $500. Because at that time, both teams had to give in money to make my $500. And they didn't want to do that, so then I left. And that was it with my baseball career. But when I came back, I still played baseball in the Mon Valley. And that was it there.
Yeah.
Sports.
Was that you came back and played? That was at 9th Street Park.
Right.
You did a little bit of that. You dabbled in that. What about? I saw pictures of you in Tennessee at the time with Johnny Majors. Was that baseball or was that?
No, that was he played football. He was a freshman. And we piled around, me, him, and our other buddy, Nick Mahalko, and we took some pictures down by the stadium. And you wouldn't recognize the stadium now from when it was at 1954. You didn't have hardly any seats in the end zone, everything. It's all different now. And what we did was we piled around and everything down there and took pictures and everything. And Johnny became head coach. He was drafted in football league, NFL, and everything. And then he happened to be coaching down the University of Pittsburgh. Well, I went down to see him one time, and we shoot the breeze, talking and everything like that. And he says, "Come down anytime. I'll have tickets for you." Well, I never did go back because I was involved with the family, with kids.
Yeah, well, we know how that goes, how involved you get there. But yeah, that's a quite a story. I understand that you had a lot of buddies you used to hang around with too that played professional or dabbled in professional at the Viaduct and other bars that you played to. I mean, you used to go to Pittsburgh with some of your friends to see your brother Joe and things like that. And I'd like to get some stories on that.
Well, there was over the Viaduct, we had a lot of fun over there, a bunch of good guys and everything like that. And a couple of the guys, they knew Stan Musial, they knew Leo DeRocher. Stan Musial for the Cardinals and Leo DeRocher with the Giants, New York Giants at that time. So when they came into Pittsburgh, they called them up, and I had a tryout with them and everything, with St. Louis, talking to Stan Musial and most of the crowd down there. Then the next tryout I had with Leo DeRocher with the Giants. And both times I had good tryouts and everything like that, but I never got word on it and everything like that. So that was my experience through these guys that I knew that knew somebody, like Stan Musial, Leo DeRocher, and all the ball players like that. But it was quite an experience to go down to Forest Field. In fact, I even tried out with the Pirates and I was down there so many times. And I used to ask Mr. Sisler, Nick Sisler at that time, "Well, you going to sign me or what?" And he said, "Mike, you can hit, you can throw, but you're a little bit slow." I said, "It's good enough for me. So I ain't coming back no more."
Yeah. So you played at Forbes Field?
Well, no, I didn't play. We had tryouts.
Oh, tryouts.
I had a few. Well, the old Forest Field down right to the line was 300. And it was big fence. I had a few over there and everything. And
yeah.
It was quite an experience to have that, but I must have went down there because they used to send me letters to come down and play, to try out. Oh, at least 6, 7 times must have went down there and everything.
Yeah.
But that didn't go out good either way, and everything like that. Now, my one buddy, Bob Mastrosky, very good ball player. When they had a tryout in Denora, I forget what year it was, 1956 or 57, somewhere around there. And we went down there to try out. Well, here, my buddy Bob Mastrosky, he got signed by the St. Louis Cardinals. And he got shifted to Class D, Paul. Name of the team was Hazel Baxley. And it was Class D Georgia League. So he was doing pretty good out there. One day, coming home from work from the mill, I was walking past Greco's Dairy Bar on Knox Avenue. And somebody was sitting down. And I happened to look, and he looked at me, and I said, "Bob." He said, "Nice." And he got up, and when I went to see him, he had 2 black eyes. And I said, "What happened?" He said, "Well, about a week ago, they were playing this one team." He said, "The big left-hand pitcher he beat me right between the eyes." He says, "I didn't wake up till the next day. After that, I got a little ball shot. And then they released me and everything." I said, "Boy, okay."
Oh man, wow! I didn't hear that story. Geez,
Yeah.
that's something else.
Being right in there.
Yeah, I guess that's more than a brushback pitch. It's aiming at your head.
And right between the eyes, and he said he woke up, he was in a hospital and everything like that.
Oh, jeez.
And it was something. And there was another experience that I forgot to tell you what happened up at Midland in that tournament. This one team we played, I can't remember the name. We were in the outfield. The team was batting. The other team was batting. One of the player batting, he hit a ball in between me, which I played center field, and Bob Mastrosky, which played right field. He hit in between. He got a double. Okay. So the next time he come up, when you're playing ball, you got to remember your hitters and do all this stuff and everything like that. Concentrate. But anyway, I remember him. He came up, and I hollered to Bob, Dago, the nickname was, "Let's pinch in on him." So we took a step closer to each other, him in right, me in center. And would you believe it? He hit the ball the same way, same place. We both ran, And when we got eye to eye, we bumped heads. Somehow I caught the ball, threw it in with the third out. Went in a dugout. My turn to bat. I went up to the plate, pitched first ball. I called time. I went in the dugout and I asked my manager, who's playing, what's going on, and everything. And he told me, get up there, you're batting and everything. I said, oh, I don't know what's going on. Here, I didn't play anymore. I had a concussion and everything. But I turned out okay. But that was one of the experiences I had with a concussion.
Oh,
No
wow.
fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, I could believe that. Back then, they put you back in the game. There was no concussive
Right.
protocol. There was no one taking you out. They
It
said,
was-
go back up and shake it off.
It was just one of the things you're numb up there and you don't know what's going on. What am I doing here? What's going on and everything? And it was just a collision and everything.
Yeah. What?
but,
How old were you? What year?
Oh, I had to be about 20. About 20 years old.
20 years
21,
old.
20 or 21. Something like that. But
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. That was something.
Yeah, I
Bumping
believe
heads
it. I
and,
believe it. Was there anyone else famous, or I know you mentioned Stan Musial. He was local
Right,
guy, wasn't he?
right, and everything
From
like that.
Denor. Was he from Denor?
Denor and everything, called Stan the Man and everything.
Yeah. Anyone
Yeah,
else you
and
could?
no, there was
Joe.
a couple pitchers that I pitched against in the Mon Valley. Pitched against this one that he played for the Pirates. His name was Preacher Martin. He never pitched on a Sunday. He was a preacher, right-hand pitcher, and he could throw the ball. He could really throw the ball. I'd say he had to throw it at that time close to 100 miles
Jeez.
an hour. In fact, he beat me a couple times when I played against him on the arm and everything like that. But anyway, the Pirates had signed him, and he pitched for the Pirates one year. He did fairly good, but he was a little bit wild. That was it for him. And then there was another one, Tony Sexta, that he played minor league ball, and he was playing in the Mon Valley. He was a good pitcher. Another one was, let me see, just can't think of his name. Played for Finleyville. He played AAA ball. He was a pitcher and everything like that, and he could really pitch. In fact, I think he was one of the best pitchers I faced in that Mon Valley League. Right? His name was Ray Glasser and everything. Right-hander. He was very good and everything.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was just the experience with all these players, and at that time playing ball, everybody was good ball players. And always wanted to win in that Mon Valley.
Yeah. Didn't always depend on money. They just wanted to play back then.
Play with heart.
Yeah.
And you knew all the ball players. You knew where to play them, what they hit, where they didn't hit, and everything like that. And I know my buddy, when I first played in the Mon Valley, I played for CIO, and my buddy Bill Mitnick, he didn't pitch for CIO at that time that year. He pitched for the Ozarks, and he made me laugh. I bat against him a lot of times and everything. Now, he has good control, good curveball, very seldom walking people. His problem was the control and everything. But anyway, this one game, I bat against him, and I get a home run off him. So I come up against, and he intentionally walked me. Well, on one of the pitches, he didn't throw it too close outside. He threw it close to the plate. And here, I hit a home run. And you know what he did? He threw the glove up in the air and shook his head.
Well, it's worth noting, folks, that you threw right-handed, but you bat left-handed.
Right.
Yeah.
You know why that? Because my brother, Joe, taught me how to play back left-handed. He said it was closest to first base, a couple steps closer.
So Uncle Joe showed you how to hit left-handed.
Left-handed. And he's right-handed. When he played ball, too, he played a little bit ball.
Yeah, you guys didn't play together. He was a little bit older than you.
7 years older.
7 years older.
Anyway, he taught me how to play, back
Yeah.
left.
Did any of your sisters come to watch you play, or
No. Like that. They were
your
all
mom and
married.
dad?
Mom and dad showed up all the time. In fact, when I came back from Brooklyn at that time, I signed up with Mon Valley with CIO, and we had such a great team, one of the best teams in the valley at that time. Everybody could hit field. We had about 5 good pitchers and everything. It was really tremendous. and my mom and dad used to go every game. Well, we had this one player, his name was Robert Robertson. He was a black guy, played left field, good hitter. And he had his wife, girlfriend's wife, and all this and that come to the games. And my mother and dad told me a story. He said, while they was watching the game, they asked him, do you have somebody playing for you? And my dad answered, yeah, he plays center field. And they said, oh, you mean Whoopsie Doo? Because they used to call me Whoopsie Doo and everything like that. And they laughed, and that was it there and everything like that. But there's always little tidbits that you hit. But my mother and dad always used to go to the games and watch and everything. Plus, my future wife used to go also, which you pay 50 cents to the ball players when I'd hit home runs.
Yeah.
I get the ball, and I got the ball.
Oh, good old mom. Oh,
and
yeah.
everything like that. But made me laugh and everything.
Yeah. How about when you played for Brooklyn or you played in Florida? Did you meet anyone famous down there? Jackie Robinson, any of the Mickey Mantle?
Oh yeah. What you did down in Florida, they had like a barracks atmosphere down there. There's no barracks air base down there at that time in Vero Beach. And you go through the front door, they had like a big living room, or what do you call it, a meeting, a family room or something. And all the ball players in the evening, they would come down and you start talking to them and everything like that. And there was Jackie Robinson, there was Roy Campanella, Gil Hodges, Mike Schuba, who else? All the pitcher, Don Newcomb, Pee Wee Reese.
So they were in the same room with you, or
Oh,
a
yeah.
conference room?
Oh, they'd come in there, 2, 3. See, it was a big lounge. It was a big lounge. A lot of chairs and sofas there.
Yeah.
Like an
So
open.
they
You know
could
what I mean?
relax.
Like that. To the left, you go to your rooms, dorm rooms. To the right, you go to the dorm rooms. In the middle was a big room.
Oh, like a gathering place.
Yeah, gathering. You sit down, relax, and everything. Like that.
Oh, okay.
Didn't have no TVs and everything. And they would come and sit and we'd
Shoot the breeze. Yeah.
shoot the breeze, this and that, and like that. And it used to make me laugh and everything like that. One of the ball players told me a story and made me laugh. He said that they were playing, who was it? New York Giants and everything at the time. And he got a hold of one in the gap, and he was going in for 2. And Alvin Dark, for the Giants shortstop at that time, told him to stand up. Well, he stood up, but guess what? Alvin Dark had the ball waiting for him, and he was out. As he walked off the field, they were booing him.
Oh, it sounds like a Harvey trick play from Bronco League.
And he said, I'll never forget that, and everything. But I mean, these tales and everything, you talk about it, and you hear, and you laugh, and you just hear stuff like that.
Yeah, I always remember as a kid, you would talk about, oh, we could have been living in Los Angeles. We'd be living in California if things went right. So how did that happen? So you were playing for Brooklyn, and then they moved to Los Angeles?
Yeah, that was the last year they played in Brooklyn, in Ebbets Field. They moved to Los Angeles the following year. The same year that they moved, the New York Giants moved to San Francisco. Like they got the New York, San Francisco.
So was that
Giants.
the farm league, or that
That's
was
Major League?
Major League?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, they closed Vero Beach down a few years ago and everything.
Oh, that's right. You went to go visit
Yeah,
that.
we
Did that bring
visited.
back any memories, or did you
Okay.
recognize anything?
The ball field's the same. The only thing in the outfield at the time, they had palm trees, no fence out there, hillside and palm trees. Now, when I was down there a year ago, they had fences out there, but they had the palm trees, and the field was right there. Holman Park, they called it, and everything like that. But everything's changed down there.
Yeah, well, that's got to be funny to go there and see the same palm trees when they were 2 foot high, and now they're 50
They
foot.
were big at that
Oh, they were
time.
big
Yeah,
then?
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, they were big. It's a hillside. and
Oh,
everything
okay.
like that. And they had like 6 ball fields down there.
Yeah.
There was all their minor league teams trained down
Yeah.
there. And they had at least 6 ball fields with the main field.
Yeah.
Now, this one time, they had an exhibition game, the Major League Dodgers. They played the Yankees. And I was there watching, and Mickey Mantle was there.
Oh, wow.
All these guys. And
Yeah.
all in from New York.
Marilyn Monroe.
But they were there and everything, and they were shooting the breeze, and it was just exciting moment. I mean, to see all these great ball players and down there and everything.
Oh, I
like
bet.
that.
I mean, yeah. I
It
mean,
was
things
fun.
things were booming even back in the Mon Valley. I mean, you had plenty of bars to go to in the
Yeah.
Mon
Oh,
Valley. You
yeah.
had clubs, you had theaters, and everyone worked at the mill. And boy, things were good back. Things were thriving, right?
Right. They were. I tell you, it was great.
Yeah. I mean, you named a few buddies you hung around with, and
Right.
well, your
Well,
one
yeah.
buddy didn't want to work, but
Well, we had a few of them over the viaduct. I mean, there's so
Yeah,
many
that-
tells you could tell over there, but it was never no problem. Never got drunk and everything like that from the viaduct. And sometimes you go there, you'd have pop instead of beers. And
Yeah.
people would think, oh, you go to the bar, you go drink all stuff. No.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
so, well, what happened in 1959, I went there. Usually go there about 7 o'clock at night or something. In fact, when I leave the house, my dad used to say, "You're going to the fraternity house." I said, "Yeah." So I went there, and there was a couple people there, and I walked outside and stayed outside a little bit, and I said to myself, "What am I doing? I think I'm going to get married." So then I called my future wife, Louise, and I asked her if she wanted to get married. She said yes, and that was it.
Oh, nice, very
That was
nice.
back in '59.
Yeah.
I just got tired just eloping and
Hanging around and
this
stuff.
and that.
Tell me, how about the one time you came home late? What'd your dad say to you?
Oh, well, that was
Grandpap,
a good one. That was a
Grandpap
good
was the boss, huh?
one. Yeah, I learned a lesson that day. It was one of them things. I came in about 5 o'clock, and mostly
5 a.m.
5 a.m. And mostly you have a few drinks, you BS, and the time goes. Now, I wasn't drinking heavy or anything. I just happened to come home 5 o'clock. At that time, my dad worked in the mill, and he was up. So I came in, and the lights was on. And I tiptoed a little bit. And here my dad said, "Mike." I said, "Yeah, Dad." He says, "You got a watch." I said, "Yeah, Dad." He said, "Look at it sometime." So then, after that, I said to myself, "I'm never coming home no later than 2 o'clock."
Yeah.
And I never did. But
Yeah.
he was right and everything.
Well, he worked on a railroad
Yeah,
too.
he was a foreman on the Menneson Southwest Railroad and everything. He had all them years in there and everything. In fact, I worked a year underneath him and everything on the railroad, driving spikes and laying track and railroad work and everything. And that's when I went away to play ball.
Well, he had a hard time keeping track. Two sons, 3 daughters.
Right.
You know, and plus,
That was the fun
Betty
of it.
went away to California.
Well, the fun of it was in them days, we had one bedroom. We had 2 bedrooms. Grandma and Grandpa slept. In the other room, we had 2 beds.
Yeah.
In one bed, me and my brother Joe slept. In the other bed, 3 of my sisters slept. And then one by one, each got married until I was the last one.
You had the room to
I had
yourself.
the room and the bed all by myself.
Oh, nice, nice.
And
Yeah.
that was it there. And
Oh
everything
my,
was-
that's
It
crazy.
was really something. I mean, at that time, everybody slept together or had one bedroom and no air conditioning, no TV, and what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, that was a small house. That's an old house, a duplex. I mean, you had
It
somebody
was a
living
big
above.
house. It was just the idea that the upstairs is real big, downstairs.
Well,
big.
who stayed upstairs? Yeah.
Upstairs was my aunts, Mary and Uncle Kelly, and their daughter, Virginia Dudas.
Oh, okay.
It's Klein. And
Yeah.
everything. She got married to Dr. Joseph Dudas, which was a dentist and everything.
Yeah.
And then they built a home up by City Park or what it's
There's
called.
State Road or
State
something
Road,
on top.
yeah,
Yeah.
Road.
So Knox Avenue, that place was thriving back then. I remember they had the big trees and everything on the
Yeah.
sidewalks, and you had the Nippa bar down at the
Yeah.
bottom, and you said there was a pizza place down there too, or that's where they served it.
Yeah, they had what they did that they had a pizza, had a bar, and they had pizza every Sunday night, and then you'd go up a few steps in the back. In the back there, they had a bocce field with lights on, and you would see these older Italian guys with Danobis in their mouth playing bocce. Now bocce is where you have 4 or 5 balls and you roll it, and there's a little pina. They call it pina, a little small ball. Whoever gets close to that, that's how you get your points. Sometimes they would throw it hard to knock you out and everything. But it was an interesting game to watch, and I watched that a lot while I'm waiting for the pizza. And then I would take it home, and the family we would eat it.
Yeah.
Now, Mrs. Toady used to make the pizza down there. She was one of the best cookers with pizza. Second, I would go to Nazaki's Pizza. The old people, they made good pizza and everything.
Yeah.
Then the next one would be down Italian Hall Pizza and everything. But them days are gone. Now, if you want pizza, go to the store.
Yeah, get frozen pizza now. Now, before I let you go, Dad, I got to ask you one story. One story I always hear a lot about is, I don't know where you were, but it must have been a really nice, expensive place. You and your buddies walk in the bar, and
Well,
something happened,
I'll
you
tell
turn
you
around,
this.
you left.
We used to go down there, three of us.
Where at?
Frank Wilkins was a Pitt Panther football fan. Charles Bobo Dwyer, he was an Irish fan, Notre Dame football fan. And I'm neutral. So we used to go down to see Pitt and Notre Dame play down Pittsburgh. Every time they played in Pittsburgh, I used to get the tickets through my brother. At that time, the tickets cost $5. So we would go down there. Well, my one buddy Wilkie would be rooting for Pitt, the other one rooting for Notre Dame, and I was in the middle just taking my bottle out and having a drink and watching that.
Yeah.
I don't care who won.
Yeah.
So then after the game's over, we'd go out and guess what? We couldn't find a car. There were so many cars there. So we said, well, instead of finding a car, let's go see some bars. Okay. Well, in the meantime, this Frank Wilkins, he had a bad leg. I happened to see a grocery store with a buggy, so we put him in the buggy and we were wheeling him down the street.
Wilkie in a buggy.
And he's telling us which way to go. So we ended up at this one bar. It was called the Cardinal Bar. So we stopped in there. We took 2 steps in there. And here they had a bright red carpet. And when you walked in there, your feet sank a couple inches. And you know what that meant. So we all looked at each other and we said, no, he's not here, and we got out of there. We wasn't going to pay for that carpet.
You got that right. Yeah, you sink in a carpet and you say, nope, he's not here. Turn around and get out of here. And what at that time when the door opens, everybody probably looks to see who's walking in.
Well, sure. Yeah. Well, that's just like another experience in Nevada. Now, it was like a few of us. A couple guys were in there, and we had a beer. And a guy would come in there, he'd look around, and he'd act kind of big, like to give everybody a drink. Okay, thank you. And he'd do that for a couple times in a row. So I said, well, we'll fix it. So we played a trick on him. We got about 10 guys. We went in a bathroom. When he came in and said, give everybody a house of drink, we all got out of the bathroom, and he never did come back in.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, Dad. I'll tell you. But it's all good stuff. Too many to remember. Huh?
Go on. There's other things I can think of, but it just reverse and go from here.
Yeah.
It was great. There was never no problems in them years and everything like that. And we used to have so many bars and everything. We used to go up at Jess's bar, hot sausage sandwiches and everything like that, and go to other places to drink and everything. And we used to
a lot of places back then. Now, not too many places to go.
No. We used to go to Sweeney's a lot because they used to give you a giant hamburger for $1. Couldn't beat it. And they had fish bowls at that time. It was, I forget what it was, $1 or whatever it was, and everything. We used to go there a lot too.
Yeah.
I mean, where it was. And then other places where we would go to eat once in a while was downtown Menneson. Forget the name of the restaurant. Frankie Thomas's restaurant, right on Donner Avenue. And we would go in there and get a hamburger steak. You'd get a salad, a hamburger, big hamburger with French fries and bread. All that for $1. Now, at that time for $1, you couldn't beat that. That was the meal there. And then like I say, it was.
Hey, I remember going to Tony's Lounge as kids. They get the fish platter at Tony's Lounge. That was big back then.
That was there.
Down there.
It was nice. It was nice at that time. But it's a good experience and everything, and sports and everything else. And I had such great friends and everything at over the viaduct where we used to call home, fraternity home. And to this day, I think there's only about 2 of us or 3 of us living still yet. The rest have all passed away. And the bar's closed. It's been closed for a few years. And
Yeah, I bet driving past her brings some memories, huh?
Right. And one of my buddies that's still living, he lives in California. He's been there for quite a few years, named Dick DeCenzio. He's still living. And the other one is Bob Mastrossi. He has a home. He lives down in Fort Myers, Florida now, and everything. All the rest, my buddies passed away. Bill Mitnick passed away. Bill Yowie, another
Wilkie.
Wilkie, another other buddy with Joe Casper. He passed away and everything. Charlie Bobo Wire, he passed away. It was just everybody got old and everything. That was it.
Yeah,
Great memories, no problem, never had no problem though. In fact, what we used to do every Saturday, we used to pitch in a few dollars and somebody would go around the corner where they had a dairy bar, Mickey's. And we'd get pepperoni up there and get cheese, and right across from there was a bakery shop. And we'd get a loaf of Italian bread and bring it down to the Viaduct Club. And we would chow down and watch games on in the afternoon Saturday and everything. And then also with Joe Casper, he had a brother Bill. And between them, they sure liked to eat. In fact, every day, they used to go up to the baker's shop and get 2 loaves of Italian bread a day. Now, how much can a person eat with 2 loaves of bread? And everything.
Yeah, eat a loaf of bread a day.
That was it.
Good.
Hey, everything else turned out good and everything.
Oh, that's good.
The idea that was quite an experience, and I'd just like to relive that again because I had so much fun at that time, and it was clean and everything like that.
Well, I appreciate it. Appreciate all the stories, Dad. A lot of wisdom there, a lot of sports talk, a lot of stuff happened in your era in the 50s and 60s. I'm sure you can go on, but for right about now, folks, that's about it for Right on the Mark. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell and leave your comments below. Have a great day. See you next time.